Welcome back, everybody. It is March 30th, 2019, and we are looking at a chart we are familiar at looking at, especially on this channel. I know it's been a while since we have had a significant weather update, but basically, long story short, guys, is the center of our country has been completely flooded to the point where there's places that have never seen water like this in their lives. They're rowing around in canoes and kayaks just to get to places. It's like you're in Venice, waiting for a boat to pick you up to bring you to the store down the street, but the streets are now rivers. So this has been a very hot topic lately. I have not dug into it as much as I wish I could have. I tried to explain this a little bit in a previous video. We've been going through a lot of things in our home life that just has not allowed us the time to get on here, but we are here right now. And we have a few significant situations going on. One bringing snow, the next bringing a week in advance predicted nor'easter, which you don't usually see when it comes to mainstream media, but I saw this coming. It is nice to see them noticing it as well, but we're going to talk about that now. So, with that said, I want you to pay attention to the temperatures because this is key to what is going to be happening. We have a clear dip in the jet stream that is bringing low temperatures. Yes, we are in spring all the way down, way past the central area of Texas. So we need to keep an eye on that. And then we have this distinct line that, again, very rare to see straight lines in nature. This is not a straight line, but is certainly a front line. And this is what you're going to see play or have an impact on what we are going to experience here, especially on the East Coast. We are going to be specifically talking about the east side of the U.S. right now in this video. And what I want you to notice is comparing this chart to the temperature chart. You get to understand why that cutoff is there. Now, as you can see, I'm moving into Sunday, March 31st. That's tomorrow. You can see we got this long band of green rain. That is rain. The blue is snow. Again, back to the temperature chart. You could see why. The cutoff is here. We're at 39, 32, 30, 23, 34. So the coldest of our areas right now are just underneath the lakes. Now, again, when we go back to our charts, we can see why that is. You could see the snow is in the coldest part of what we just looked at on the temperature chart. So as this moisture system coming up from the Gulf, which we will be talking about another one, which is causing the nor'easter next week, we have this system. So we're going to have rain all along the East Coast. We could have some severe downpours. In fact, tornado warnings, hail, you name it, and that is via this chart here that I will show you right now. Actually, let's just look at it. Categorical, this is their main source. This is where they want you to look out for if you live in these areas. Tornado percentages, yes, it is low, but we have been seeing these tornadoes popping up, and it's right in this area. They're showing the yellows and reds as far as severe weather, very heavy rain, and then right here is where that cold cutoff is. So it's like this thing is just out of that area to where it could potentially stop these tornadoes, but it's just still warm enough to where these could be an issue. Wind, it's going to be windy, yes, because this is a very fast traveling strip that's going up to the northeast and then being pushed by a high pressure, as you can see right here. These blue lines are representing that dip in the jet stream. That dip is allowing the cold air to continue down into the U.S. We are now entering April, and we are still getting these dips in the jet stream. We got some rain in northeast Pennsylvania, the east coast of New York as far as the 31st. But then when we move forward, you could see some of that snow gets pulled into New York, possibly parts of Pennsylvania, stripping down into West Virginia on Sunday, guys. So yeah, this is definitely a storm that could bring snow to you guys, even though we've been dealing with a little bit warm, more of a warm temperature overall, but we're going to get that another dip. Guys, remember, we've had blizzards in April. We've talked about this before. We've had blizzards in early May, so this is not out of the realm of possibility. But again, just to let you guys and keep you guys updated on what's coming first, we're going to get some rain on the east side of the U.S., no doubt about it, followed by some snow on the back end. That is that counterclockwise northern hemisphere trait that we always talk about. And now on to this. This is not going to be fun if this thing gets any closer to the coast. So, beginning Tuesday, April 2nd, the day after April Fool's Day. So, April Fool's Day, according to this chart, we should be okay. Maybe some dustings up in New York, so on and so forth. Your moderate rain over central Florida. But then after April Fools, hopefully this doesn't take a day back. You see this thing blow up, and this is getting very close to a bombogenesis effect, and that is when the barometric pressure within a low pressure system drops 24 millibars in 24 hours. Now, I want you to look at this real quick. We're not quite there yet, but we're still a ways away to where a lot can change. 2 days ago, this low pressure system was out in the middle of the Atlantic. Now it's right next to the coast of the U.S. Just goes to show how fast these things can change. And it's all about what's going on atmospherically, guys. Like I said, these storms don't move on their own. They are influenced by other pressures, other things going on around them. And so far, all I'm seeing is this thing getting closer and closer to the northeast, also verified by the Weather Channel. So we're going to end up here talking about this as a nor'easter in the northeast. These numbers here you see wind, don't even pay attention to them because it's going to be a lot higher than that. I can promise you that much. So back to where I was before I lose my train of thought. It's been happening more and more lately. Must be these new special telephone poles they're putting up, huh? Hint, hint. Anyway, so sorry about that. Let's get lined up again. Low pressure system, April 2nd, and then just watch what this thing does, guys. This is why we call it bombogenesis, bomb cyclones, whatever you want to call it. Dropping 20, where was it? It was at 1002, April 2nd, 18 hours in. And then by the time we get to the northeast, we're at 987, 24 hours later. That is technically bombogenesis, guys. Now, again, if this thing, look how tight these lines are. That's massive wind. That's why I'm telling you, if this thing gets closer to the coast, throw these numbers out the window because these will be doubled in wind speed. And that is not underestimating it, guys. I've seen it happen a million times. We've seen it happen here on this channel. They give you an estimate, and then when these rings and everything gets closer to the coast, especially Nantucket, we got all those areas we talk about with these nor'easters that stick farther out into the ocean, they always get hit the hardest. And then if this thing gets inside of the northeast, we could be dealing with another round of snow being pulled down from Canada due to the counterclockwise spin. You know how this works, guys. The water's pulled out of the Bahamas, brought all the way up to the northeast, recycled into Canada, and then counterclockwise spun almost like a fuel source. So that's why we always look for that 9 symbol. And guess what? There it is, the number 9. And remember, last March, guys, at this time last March, this would have been our 4th nor'easter. So let's count ourselves lucky. We may get that little bit of snow in the next couple days, but this is what I want people to start looking at. We're talking Wednesday, April 3rd. This is within a week. This is a big system. Look at the size of this thing. It covers multiple states if you were to lay it over. It covers the entire Northeast, basically, if you were to lay it over the Northeast. So, very significant storm. Going to be very powerful. Rough surf. It is still a tad early for people to be on the beaches, so at least we have that to not so much worry about. But at this time of year, people are getting their beaches and all their shoreline bars and all their vacation spots ready. And then to have this come through and cause issues, that would be pretty frustrating. So this might be something we have to get used to, guys. These nor'easters, especially throughout the summer, I believe we're going to be seeing a lot of these storms. Nor'easters don't always involve snow. They could be wind and just rain, but the wind and rain is enough to cause havoc anywhere in the Northeast. We've massive flooding in the middle of the country. I spoke about this in the last couple of days. We had massive floods in the Susquehanna River over the last 30 years that displaced people for months. So, all right, what else do we got here? In fact, I just want to see how this thing is going to roll up again one more time while I have you with me. And we can look quick into the future, absolutely. So here we go again. Let's just recap. This is what's coming as we speak. Front end is rain. Like I said, the cutoff, you can clearly see the cutoff is matching where the green is. This is that cold front line. This is that cold front line. So these charts match. It's very, once you get your bearings, guys, this is not hard to do. You can really see this coming before it happens. Back end snow. That's March 31st. Here we go. In and out by Monday. And then we're going to have some temperature rising. We're going to get a little bit of warm weather, but that's just as this thing is beginning to expand itself and blow up over us. Look at that, guys. Look how tight those rings are. When you see rings that almost turn into a solid black line, you know you are in for some wind. So Nantucket, parts of Massachusetts, Long Island, Connecticut, all the northeast coastal states, Chesapeake Bay. In fact, you guys get closer to this thing as of today, this hour, than the northeast does. So, and pay attention to these too, guys. This is what's going to cause that rough surf. It's all going to be pushing into the beaches. Counterclockwise, boom. It's being pulled out and then wrapped around and then pushed in, just like a hurricane. This is not a hurricane. If it were to drop down into a 960, 950, and then we looked at our cyclone page, yes, it could become a cyclone. Very, very rare if that were to happen, but you know, these days with weather, anything's possible. So I think that's what I got for you guys. As of estimated snow through April 4th, like I said, that back end of that first strip we're getting in a couple days, this is what they're expecting as far as accumulation. Not too much, more of a dusting than anything. But then again, look right above New York and Canada. That's 20 plus inches of snow, and we're talking about maybe 200-300 miles difference between north part of New York and where the 20 inches of snow is. So it's a game of inches in a way, you know, talking sports, not inches, obviously miles, but a game of inches. So, all right, wow, I'm glad I got on here with the real video, the real mic. I want to do more live streams with you guys. That was awesome. I had a great time doing that. And it's just a lot more fun to actually talk and interact with you guys while we're doing these weather forecasts. This way I can answer questions on the fly. You guys can teach me things, whatever it may be. But all I do know is that we got this thing with that big L that says 988 coming right up to the northeast. So hopefully the middle of the country is going to get a break. Nothing but prayers for you guys. I don't even know how to cover this type of situation because it's just, we have never seen it before. I could show you pictures all day of bridges that usually have a 75-foot jump to the water where you could literally hang off the bridge and your feet are touching the water. So, you know, it's just, it's horrible. I mean, that's all I can say about it. I'm just trying to get some positive news out there once in a while rather than all negative stuff. Sorry, I dropped my notebook. All right, guys, I'll let you go here. I got more videos coming out tonight. Wanted to get this one out quick. I appreciate the patience, guys. I know I have not been posting a lot. That is going to change. I assure you that. This channel is not going anywhere. It never will. Thank you so much for your attention. Stay safe. Any questions, leave them below. Any requests, any pictures you would like to see featured on this channel, you know how to get them to us. Hashtag Into Thin Air. You can email us anyway on all of our social media platforms. Everything's in the info box. All right, guys, have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.